Welcome everybody on this quick review of the NordicTrack RW200 rowing machine and my experience with it after only 7 days of use and my experience of the huge technical problems that this machine has. Basically, after 7 days of light use, I am a 190 pound heavy. I'm not in the best shape of my life, so when I was starting to use this machine 1 week ago, I started to use it very lightly, 30 minutes rowing session with a really light tempo because I'm not in a great shape. I don't want to overdo it and maybe even injure my spine, which sometimes happens with the people who don't know how to properly use rowing machines. So I was using it lightly for only 1 week, 5 probably workout sessions with it. And after 5 workout sessions, I had huge problems with this machine. Basically, it break down completely and I cannot use it anymore. So stay with us and let me show you all the technical problems, whole list of them with this machine and why right now I cannot use it anymore because simply it's dysfunctional and I cannot even return it back to the NordicTrack or request any kind of help from them in order to make this machine to be usable again. The first and the biggest problem, not the biggest problem actually, but one of the most irritating problems, even when the rest of the machine works, is this electronic unit in front of the rower. Basically, it has the LCD, couple of buttons, couple of different programs of the workout that you can use, but the problem is that from the day one, this electronic unit works only 20% of time and 80% of time simply does not work. You insert the batteries right here underneath. I have nice thick Duracell batteries, brand new. And when you push the button on, it simply doesn't work. 20% of time it actually works, and then 80% of time simply does not work. If that's okay with you, I don't know. With me, that doesn't flow. So with me, that's extremely irritating if something that you purchased for almost $1,000 doesn't work 80% of time. Second thing, now when you want to start finally rowing and enjoying the exercising on this machine, this happens. Nothing. What happens is that nothing happens. On and off button, nothing. Nothing. Nothing happens. Nothing. It's dead. And like I said, it works 20% of time and then 80% of time simply doesn't work. If you can live with that, great. I can't. If something doesn't work 80% of time, it drives me nuts. And then also, I usually now work out in a way that I put the iPad right here and I'm watching the Netflix. That's the only thing that you can do now. But this speaker system thing, it's constantly creating some kind of crazy noise, like, beeping and also creating some kind of a noise, almost like a coffee grinder, something like all the time. And, if you're listening to your Netflix show, this generates a great of the problem. So LCD doesn't work, and also this speaker system, you cannot turn the noise off. It creates the noise on its own. I don't know why, but it's very annoying. So this is the setup how I would usually have it when I would working out on this NordicTrack RW200 machine. I would simply put it here in my living room and I would exercise on it. And then after probably 5, maybe 6 time that I was using the machine, the seat that it has to move on this rail with you while you're working on it, while you're rowing, it simply collapsed. What happened? Here on the bottom, underneath the seat has 2 rollers, and those rollers are made so that seat can simply slide on this rail back and forth. That's how it should be. But inside of the rollers, you don't have a standard steel ball bearings. You have imitation of steel ball bearings. And that's the huge problem, because while I was exercising the last time, By the end of my exercise session, that means probably after 20 minutes of my exercising, the steel balls from the rollers are simply started to drop down on the floor underneath my seat by itself. Crazy. And then after 4 or 5 of them simply dropped out, when I realized that something is wrong with the seat, I stopped. And from that moment on, seat could barely move. It literally could not move. Only thing that you could create by continuing to exercise is completely destroy the seat rollers and entire system that it's used. Reason for that is simply poor manufacturing quality, because this machine is made in China and they produce probably the worst possible parts and worst possible quality. And what is also the crucial thing, they didn't use steel ball bearings. They used imitation of the steel ball bearings that simply destroyed by itself after 5 or 6 sessions of rowing on this machine. So let me show you. That's the problem number 3. Here is the whole setup. I put it in a bag. Here it is. Here is the roller. And as you can see, that roller is right here underneath the seat, and that's the roller that it's used for this machine to be able to go up and down. And if you can see on this side that it's still okay, this is how it looks like. Inside of it, there is simply no steel ball bearings. It's imitation, which means that there is this synthetic polymer roller, and inside of it they just dropped in a couple of steel balls, put some kind of a seal on the top of it, and that's it. So basically there is no axle that goes through the entire width of the roller that would keep the roller in a strong position. Just like, for example, when you're riding your bicycle on a front wheel has a wheel. Inside of the wheel you have an axle that is attached to the front fork of your bicycle, and in between axle and the wheel you have a steel ball bearings, which basically guarantees that even if you ride that bike for 20 years, even after 20 years it will work the same way as the first day. Here they were too cheap to put the axle, so they basically just put 2 little tiny screws on one end, one screw on one end and then the second screw on the other end. And then when you sit on your seat, the pressure of your body simply push the roller or an entire seat down, and then these little tiny screws right here under the pressure are bent downwards. And what that creates that the screw itself simply destroy this sealing of the steel balls, and then when it's destroyed it drops out, and then one after another of these little tiny steel balls are simply popping up, and after 2 or 5 seconds, and when you move your body a couple of times while you're rowing, all of these balls, steel balls, will be out of the plastic roller, and your seat will simply drop down, and that's it. Nothing you can do. You cannot move anymore. If you can see here, I scratched the entire rail with a seat that was actually destroyed at that time. I didn't stop it when I should. Maybe one extra row, and that's it. I scratched everything. Seat is now completely useless. It cannot go back and forth, and you cannot roll on this machine. After 7 days of use, all the parts from this roller of the seat simply popped out completely by itself, and machine is from this moment on useless. Now we're gonna talk about warranty of this NordicTrack machine, because this is something that is extremely interesting. So check this out, I typed in Alibaba ball bearings. You press the search, you are automatically redirected in Alibaba website, which is of course all the products made in China. And because the NordicTrack machine is also made in China, I thought, that they will install the ball bearings inside of that roller so that so that they can make it actually to be indestructible. And I was surprised with the price of ball bearing. Look at this, 11 cents. 11 cents. Look at this. Let's move further. Look at this. This one is 10 cents. Look at this. Incredible. Look at this. This one is 21 cents. This one is 20 cents. So basically, if they bought this one for 11 cents, they could put 4 of these in 2 rollers, one on left, one on right, and they would make that seat to be completely indestructible for the next 10 years of rolling. But because they decided to cut corners for 44 cents, now I have a broken machine. And also, if they decided that they're gonna send me one of 4 of these ball bearings for 11 cents each, for 44 cents they could prove that they have the best customer service in the world, and I would stay their customer for the rest of my life. This way they saved 44 cents in production cost, create me a tremendous deal of problems because now I have to buy those things, I have to fix machine on my own, and they lost the customer for life. That's obviously is the policy of NordicTrack. 11 cents. Look at this, 11 cents for one steel ball bearing. Now quickly let's go through the warranty problems with this NordicTrack machine. Basically the warranty, it's contract between you and the manufacturer, and if you decide that you want to buy this product, you have to, accept the terms of the warranty, and that's perfectly okay. So it's between you and the manufacturer, NordicTrack in this case. So I cannot say that it's not fair. I'm just telling you that there is some hidden problems that will basically screw many of you who owns this machine, in my humble opinion. And what is the problem? Basically, I called today the NordicTrack service department, and they first have to register this product in their computer system. So basically they ask you for your own, postal address, phone number, email address, and everything like that. And then they ask you if you are the original owner of the machine. And I honestly told them that I'm not. Basically, this machine was purchased by my brother. He bought it probably, 10, 11 months ago. And he kept it in the box. Life gets in the way of our best wishes and our best plans. So basically he bought this machine to row, but he never row on it. And after a while, I basically came and took this machine from him. So I honestly told them that I'm the second owner, and they told me that in the case that I'm a second owner, or if you are the second owner, no manufacturer warranty will apply to you. Basically, from that moment on, when you tell them that you are second owner, all the warranties on this machine are cancelled. Basically cancelled. So I asked them, for example, what if you buy this machine and you give it as a gift to someone, and that person basically unpacks the machine, starts rolling, and something breaks? So basically machine can be 1 day old, but second owner cannot do anything about it. And not even the first owner can do anything about it, because if the second owner, for example, if you purchase this for your, cousin or a father-in-law or something like that, and they unpack it after 1 day, starts rolling, and if machine breaks just like it broke in my case after 7 days, machine can be literally 8 days old and no possibility to apply the warranty. Simply warranty is cancelled. So this is exactly my case. Warranty is cancelled. Now my only option is to call the NordicTrack mechanic, who will come in my apartment and fix this machine for $195 plus parts. So it will basically end up something like $250 for something that can also happen to you after only 7 days of use. So even if this machine is like 7 or maybe 10 days old, if your father-in-law or your mother or your spouse bought it for you, you are basically second owner, and no manufacturer warranty will be applied. You are on your own. Now, this is absolute true. This is the fact. You can call them, you can read about them on their website, and you can make your own decision. Is that fair or not? Imagine buying the car. Imagine that your father, for example, had a lot of money and he buy you the car. He buys you the car, he gives you the car, and car after 1 week, maybe 200 miles, engine simply dies. Imagine not be able to have the warranty on that. But with NordicTrack, this is exactly the situation that you put yourself. No warranty for the second owners, even if the machine is 1 day old. That's it. You're on your own. You're stuck with machine that completely broke on you, and that's it.